you so much, Steph. Premier Doug Ford suggesting that we haven't flattened the curve yet in this second COVID wave, but we're making progress. But just how much? We're going to find out during an update today.
We see the curve going down, which is great news, and I give all the credit to the people out there in Ontario, but we can't let our guard down.
Ford will be joined by top experts, including Ontario's top public health doctor, to release details of the latest COVID projection models. The previous projections estimating we would hit 1,000 new cases a day. That's only happened one time here in the province, but we have seen 3 straight days with more than 800 new cases. And Toronto, Ottawa, Peel and York regions have been pulled back into a modified stage 2. As we were talking about off the top of the show, health officials in York Region announcing that 44 people who went to a wedding in Vaughan earlier this month have now tested positive for COVID-19. Now, this wedding took place over 2 days, October the 14th and the 18th at the Vaughan Event Centre. Over 100 people attended the festivities. If you were at that wedding, you are being asked to isolate for 2 weeks. A Toronto pharmacist telling CityNews reporter Faiz Amin that he is sounding the alarm bells about possible flu shortages as we head into the winter months, flu vaccine shortages.
You have your first allotment, and as soon as you're getting through it, you contact the ministry, they'll send you more.
When are you getting your next shipment of vaccines?
It's a great question, I don't know. I reached out to the ministry yesterday, and my staff have been all over it too. We called them, looked for an answer.
And that is Toronto's Cloud Pharmacy saying they received 40 flu shots on October the 5th, but has run out of the high doses for seniors. They're also running short of the regular vaccines with a concern that they won't be getting any more. The province's health ministry says there won't be shortages, having ordered 5.1 million doses, more than what was ordered last year. So will you be rolling up your sleeve this year? It's part of our sound off today, so you can have your say. You can tweet us at BT Toronto. You can email us or call us as well. We'll put up those numbers for you again in just a moment. Well, City Council here in Toronto voting unanimously in favor of a motion that calls on the province to cap food app delivery fees that are charged to restaurants. Apps like Skip the Dishes has served as a lifeline for restaurants. They've had to close up during the province's modified phase 2 of restrictions, but their commission fees are as high as 30%. Premier Ford has previously called on delivery apps to voluntarily reduce their rates. His nephew, Councillor Michael Ford, put forward this motion. All right, we'll bring you more on that statement in just a bit from Skip the Dishes. But also, Mayor Tory is asking the city's public health officials to see if a plan can be worked out to safely reopen gyms. The mayor calling it a public health issue, especially as winter approaches and people are cooped up inside. He wants a general reopening strategy ready for November the 7th, when Toronto is scheduled to move out of a modified stage 2. Is a workout at the gym a priority as the province grapples with this second wave? We're going to put that question and much more to Mayor Tory. He's going to be joining me live just after 7 this morning. Well, police are renewing their call for help this morning as they continue their search for a Bradford teenager who went missing last Friday. The search for Siam Zareski is set to resume at 9 o'clock. He's described as 5'9", short buzzed hair. He was last seen at his home Friday, October 23rd. This is in the Professor Day Drive and Northgate Drive area. South Simcoe police are asking anyone who can help to actually come out for today's search. The command post is located at Bradford District High School. That is at 70 Professor Day Drive. If you know anything, police do want to hear from you. Let's get to Ottawa now. A video conference will be happening today between Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and 2 of the European Union's top political leaders, just days ahead of the U.S. election. Topics said to be up for discussion include a pledge of support for the World Health Organization, a group which President Trump has blasted, going as far as pulling funding for the organization. The issue of China is expected to be raised. Canadians Michael Kovrig and Michael Spavor have been in Chinese custody for 2 years in an apparent retaliation for the arrest of Chinese high-tech executive Meng Wanzhou. And a hearing into Mung's arrest continues in a BC Supreme Court today. Yesterday, a Canadian border officer testified that Mung was flagged for national security concerns ahead of her arrival at a Vancouver airport. He took possession of her phone and its passcodes during the detainment, which would later be passed on to the RCMP. Mung's defense is gathering evidence for arguments that she was subject to an abuse of process. She faces fraud charges in the U.S. for violating sanctions against Iran.